Hey folks, it's Matt once again, and welcome back to another Van Damme movie review. And the film I'm reviewing is Swelter. And the reason I'm reviewing this, well, first off, because Van Damme's in it. Second off, because a very nice guy named PerryFan49 had sent this to me. So obviously he wanted my opinion on this. And to be honest, I thought this was a huge piece of shit. I think it was just as bad, if not worse, maybe even worse than Dragging Eyes. I hated Dragging Eyes. Van Damme had nothing to do. Here, screen time wise, he has more than Dragging Eyes. But hell, the movie I reviewed, Welcome to the Jungle, Van Damme was kind of a supporting role. He probably had even a little bit more screen time in that than this. But Welcome to the Jungle sucked, but Van Damme was good. Here, I can't even say anything for Van Damme because maybe if he was the star and he got more to do, and if he was this sheriff character, who's this guy with the cowboy hat, I think his name is Lennie James. I'm not sure what Lennie James has done, but it's this guy in the cowboy hat. Right between Van Damme and the guy with the glasses. This guy in the cowboy hat. He's the sheriff of this small town. And 10 years ago, what was this here? 10 years ago, a bank robbing team stole $100 million from a Vegas casino. Only one of them got away was this Lennie James. He got hit. He was found by this doctor, Alfred Molina, who I always remember from Raiders, the beginning of Raiders of the Lost Ark. Give me the idol, I'll give you the whip. Give me the whip. And he fucked over Indiana Jones. He got spiked. His ass got spiked for it. And of course, he was Doc Ock in Spider-Man 2 and been a lot of stuff. He has a tiny role, but he's a good actor, Alfred Molina. Can't see it, but it's this guy here. Anyway, this guy with a cowboy head, he was part of the robbery. All the others got caught by the police. He got away. Like I said, Doc found him. He got amnesia, Lennie James. He got amnesia. And he didn't remember who the hell he was, so he became a sheriff of this small town. And he hid the money. He doesn't even remember where he hid the money. He doesn't remember anything until most of these guys get out of prison. There were 3 men who were in jail, including Van Damme. And they show flashes of the robbery where they're dressed as the Rat Pack. And they get to a roof, they shoot a guard, and then it cuts to the present where this guy's a sheriff. And the whole gist is that he was shot, they had him go, sit somewhere while they do something, and they had to get out and they get caught. And this film, I swear, this film is pretty much trying to be a modern day Western. That's really what it's trying to be. But there are many films that did that better. Copland, for example, did that much better when you have a modern day Western. Sometimes part of me wants to wonder if the guy was trying, who's this guy? Keith Parmer, who wrote and directed it. If he was trying to be like Tarantino, not by the dialogue, but by, maybe Tarantino's not the right guy to bring up, but slow-mo gunfire, if he's trying to be like Robert Rodriguez, or I don't know what the hell he's trying to be. Van Damme, really, he's useless in this movie. He's in it very sporadically. He's not in it that much. He definitely has a supporting role. I mean, this guy over here, he's our main bad guy, and Lennie James, they have much more to do than Van Damme. Van Damme is pretty much just there to look. It cuts between the sheriff at the church in his town, and then there's his chapel where the 3 guys have to break this guy out. Pretty much these guys here, these 3, have to break this guy out, who's our main bad guy. And the guy inside the prison, the chapel, they're in prison, he beats the fuck out of a cop with a Bible. Van Damme shoots this gun here, which I guess is like some type of rocket launcher or something, because it blows a big old hole in the chapel, and they shoot the guards and the other prisoners in order to get their last buddy out, and they're on the way to this small town. Or more importantly, they get this information that this guy knows something about it, so they talk to this mechanic in this garage, they get some info, and then they kill the guy and they leave. And then it cuts to Alfred Molina. Again, he's a dot. There's these bullet fragments in our lead character's head. And Tracy Walter's in this as an old man. He has maybe 4 scenes. One where he talks about how his cow was shot. Someone shot his cow. He has a scene at the end of the film where they're cleaning up the bodies of the dead guy, the bad guys. For those who don't know, Tracy Walter, I remember mostly for 2 films. Well, really 3. Batman as the Joker's sort of main henchman, which the Joker shot. He was the sidekick to Conan, and Conan the Destroyer, the thief who would swallow the gems. And he was also in Drive with Mark Dacascos. But Tracy Walter's been in a lot of films if you look him up. But Batman, Tim Burton's from 1989, and Conan the Destroyer and Drive with Mark Dacascos are the 3 I remember the most. But yeah, that guy's been in a lot of stuff. And this film just didn't, I thought it didn't do anything for me. I mean, it's, a lot of times I say it's nothing that I've seen before, and really, are there really any movies that we've never seen before? But it didn't do anything for me. I didn't really care for anybody in the film. I didn't care for the lead guy's plight. Dialogue that I swear I've heard 100 times, like an older Native American who gives a little sermon about something's coming and the bad juju and one big bad wolf's got to keep the other wolves at bay, and that gives you bad luck. No, I think that one sermon is from a preacher in the town, I should say. The one with the big bad wolf. That's from a preacher. It was a sermon. Which I've seen that so many times before, where someone's talking in the church and they're bringing up something, of course, going to the plot. The Native American was about the bad luck. That's what it was. About bad luck is the guy has something, Lennie James, and the Native American says, you need to bury that in the desert. And I've heard things and seen things, and that's bad luck, and this is what we do. And lead guy gets some flashbacks, but he doesn't remember everything yet. And then you have a scene where the 4 bad guys here come across a roadblock of cops, and pretty much all of them, including Van Damme, just kill these cops. And it is R-rated, I will say. You get some bloody hits. I can watch 100 better movies with bloody squibs. I don't watch 100 movies that are better that are R-rated. If I want to see modern day Western, I don't watch a film like Copland. Much miles upon miles better than this movie. Just, there's nothing to this. I mean, all Van Damme really has to his character, other than looking, or when he shot this gun, or when he was one of the 4 shooting the cops, and there's like a girl dying, and the guy's going to shoot, and Van Damme stops him. Pretty much he becomes sweet on this barmaid when they get there. And he's drinking, and men are watching these women dance on stage. And they get in this little bar fight, because they want to get they think the sheriff is the guy they're looking for, so they want the sheriff there. And the bar fight isn't much. If you're thinking Van Damme was going to do any big fight moves or anything, no. He hits one with a bottle. It's this little teeny shit. The same dialogue. What was the dialogue? It was like, the only thing sadder than a half-empty glass of whiskey. And then she finishes, when both halves are empty. Great. Thank you, Yoda. gives a fuck. I don't give a fuck about anything that's going on. I don't care about the writing. It doesn't pull me in. It doesn't interest me. There's nothing to it. I've seen this done dozens and dozens of times, done so much fucking better. I can watch fucking Outland, which is a Western sci-fi version of a Western. High noon in space, pretty much. So many films where, you know, there's a small town, a bunch of bad guys that get there, and you have one guy. Only this guy, he's not sure who he is, and he has a past. You can name 50 movies that have that kind of story. And the lead and the bad guy are talking, and they have this coin on the table which represents stuff. I'm like, you know what? If I want to see two people talking and deals with coins, I'll watch The Hitcher with Rutger Hauer, where Rutger Hauer puts the coins on C. Thomas Howell's eyes, and gives him some bullets for C. Thomas Howell to hunt him. I'll watch that movie. That's a much better movie than this. And like I said, the sheriff goes off. Tracy Walter's cow has been shot. And it gets the lead guy thinking and sees the doc. And the doc gets some flashbacks, kind of remembering who he was. And you get the exposition, which I already told you. Doc is shot and he dies of his wounds. Apparently, oh yeah, the lead guy, the sheriff, has this woman that he likes. And that woman has a daughter. And the daughter hates the lead guy's ass and says, "You're not my father, and you're just a guy fucking my mother." So the teenager just seems like a bitch, very bitchy, so unlikable. And apparently the bad guy actually had a thing in the past with the lead guy's woman, and then she's like, "Yeah, I came here to watch him and this and that," but she also loves the lead guy. And then I guess Van Damme sort of, you get little hints that he wants a second chance at life. And the girl says, "Oh, they'll kill you." And he goes, "They cannot do anything to me. I've done it to myself a long time ago." And by this time, the deputy's been shot. The lead guy quick draws in this one bad guy in the church and kills him. And then the lead guy gets beat up. At the same time, one of the other bad guys is fucking with this girl. And the girl's boyfriend. This is the girl that's the sort of the lead's, in a way, stepdaughter. And then Van Damme comes in, chokes the guy out. And this really is what pissed me off about this film. This is what really made me want to rant on this fucking movie. And I do apologize, Perry Fan 49. Nothing against him. I hated this fucking movie because this scene was total bullshit. Van Damme's choking him. All that happens is he kicks the guy in the stomach a few times when the guy's on the ground. Gets into the bathroom. The guy takes the top lid of the bathroom, hits Van Damme in the face. Van Damme goes back. And then he comes up and tells the guy, "You know what we do to guys like you in prison?" And the guy says, "Yeah, I do." As this sort of wimpy guy that I don't give a fuck about stabs Van Damme. Shivved him. Van Damme looks, falls to the ground, go, and then dies. Like a punk. Makes me think of Death Warrant. I don't pay, I don't punk. Well, you got punked in this movie. I'm like, wow, you don't even give him the idea of at least killing this son of a bitch, or killing this asshole. No. He didn't do anything. He kicked the guy in the stomach 2 times. When the guy was on the ground, threw him into the bathroom, and then got hit in the head and stabbed like a punk and dies. Why the fuck do you even have Van Damme in this fucking movie then, other than to sell people to buy? Just think about it. If Van Damme wasn't in this movie, then I guarantee you Perry Fan 49 would not have sent this to me. Because it'd be like, well, who the hell is this? Who's Lennie James? I don't know who that is. Catalina Sandino Moreno? Grant Buller? Who the hell is that? Who the hell are those three guys? But Jean-Claude Van Damme, people know, and that's why he's right there front and center. Right there on the fucking cover. Now, of course, that's why in the credits it says, and Jean-Claude Van Damme. He gets the and credit. That's all you do with Van Damme. And we still have about 15 minutes or 20 minutes left of the fucking movie. I'm like, wow, this is beyond shitty. This is a film that just came out, what, last year? This is just like a 4 point something. No fucking wonder it gets a 4 point something. It's a fucking useless movie. There are dozens of Van Damme films that I've talked about that have better acting and more for him to do. Hell, Welcome to the Jungle. It's a shitty comedy, but Van Damme's good. He has more to do in that movie, sad to say. And then stupid character decisions where they're beating up the lead guy and they got him dead to rights, and the town's there, and pretty much all the bad guy does is tell him the backstory of the sheriff, the lead guy, then tells him, you better find our money. And then they walk away and leave the fucking sheriff, the lead guy, there. They don't tie him up. They don't put a bullet in his head, because he's, of all the people, he's probably the only one who stands a chance to fuck you guys up. They just walk away. And they got guns and shit. They just leave him there. This is like when people make fun of those old James Bond films. Oh, they leave the guy so he can escape. No, it's not even to escape. They don't even tie him up. So the guy just sitting there on a porch, and the woman gives him a gun. You know, his woman gives him a gun, and then the next day, there's this showdown. Then I forget the reason why the bad guy kills the other guy who killed Van Damme, who is they're half brothers. I think it's something to do with the girl he likes, who is now with the lead, the sheriff. She has marks on her, and he tells the guy, the half brother, to the punk that killed Van Damme like a punk, to let her go, and the guy doesn't, so the bad guy shoots that guy. And I'm like, did I miss something? Did I black out? I might have, because I was fucking bored to tears. Was that the guy's daughter? Did he do that because he loved this girl, even though she's with the sheriff? I didn't really understand why the guy killed his half-brother. I didn't understand maybe he liked Van Damme. He's like, you motherfucker, and killed him. But that wasn't the case. So I still don't really understand why the bad guy killed his half-brother. I thought, wow, that was really fucking lame, too. And then they go outside, they have another quick draw, and the lead guy wins because the bullet hits his shield, his star, and it bounces off, but the good guy kills the bad guy. Tracy Walter comes in with a truck, loads the bodies, has Van Damme in there, says, we're going to take them to this mine, silver mine, and bury them there. So no one will find out, and it'll be a secret. Then the sheriff goes out with his girl and stepdaughter, they walk away, and then, oh, it pans up to this tower, the camera pans up to this tower, and the money's there all along. Because the lead guy, sheriff, never really remembered that part. Didn't seem like he remembered 100% what all happened. He didn't remember the money. Just the camera pulls back. Oh, that's where the money is. It's in sort of this water tower. Oh, it's in the tower. And no one will ever find it. Well, you know what? No one should ever find this movie either. Because it's a pile of shit. This movie is a pile of fucking shit that I will never ever watch again. Yeah, I mean, I mean nothing against Perry Fan 49. He sent me this. I guess he sent me this because Van Damme's in it. But yeah, he's barely in it. He's a very small supporting role. He's there to look, flirt with a barmaid, and fucking die like a punk-ass bitch. Just makes me go, Van Damme, are you that? I know the guy, I think, recently got divorced again from his wife, which is sad. Do you need... Did he send something and said, shit, I better save some money up for the alimony? Or whatever? Is that why? That's the only reason I can see. Why do this movie? Nothing for him to do in it. Other than get a paycheck. The other characters, I don't give a fuck about. The plot. You've seen that plot like dozens and dozens of times. And modern day westerns, you've seen that done a lot. And much better than this. The action, there's little action. The guards that get shot. Then when the Fords shoot the guards at the roadblock. And the little bar fight that lasts about 40 to 50 seconds at most. The Van Damme just 2 or so things, like hits a guy with a glass in the head with a glass. Couple quick draws, and that's it. The music, the plot, nothing to this movie. Apparently there's something because I spoke for 20-some minutes, but I want to end it now. I'll just be repeating myself. I thought this film fucking sucked ass. Definitely one of the worst films I've seen with Van Damme in it. It was hard to watch. You know, I think it was either just as bad or maybe even worse than Dragon Eyes. I hated Dragon Eyes. I say this is even fucking worse. At least Dragon Eyes, I liked Peter Weller. And the fight scenes had problems, but they were better than any action scene in this movie. This thing wants to call itself an action movie? Yeah, a fucking lame one, a boring one. Feels like almost pretentious one. So yeah, Swelter. Yeah, sweltering heat from my fucking rage. That I'd rather just... I know some people don't like that because this was a gift, and you know, I don't want to... I've done that before, but some of those people actually gave me permission. He didn't do that, so I'm not going to do that, but I hate to fucking move. There's a lot... Again, there's a lot of Van Damme films I love. Hard Target, Bloodsport, Death Warrant, Lionheart, You're a Soldier, Time Cop, lots more. And then there's ones I fucking hate. Still fucking hate You're a Soldier, Regeneration Day, Reckoning. I know a lot of people like them. More power to you. I hated those stories. I hated the story that they told. But hey, if you liked it, that's fine. We're not all going to like the same movie. At least the people who liked it, at least they weren't acting like dickheads. That's all I ask. And I'll try not to act like a dickhead as well. I still hate those movies. I hate Dragon Eyes. I fucking hate Black Eagle. I do not like No Retreat, No Surrender, but at least Van Damme had some cool moves in it. I hate Desert Heat. I hate this fucking movie, man. I hate Street Fighter. So there's movies I love, there's movies I hate. It is what it is. But yeah, fuck this movie. Thanks for watching. Take care and stay tuned for more videos of Van Damme later.